the person you're dating might be an, but if you are unaware, then it's all good in the hood.
If you ask and you want the answer, I'll give it.
But don't ask because you don't want the answer.
Ask. I would say
And
ask.
then I start switching anytime anyone's boyfriend walks into the room. She's waiting to give a little tippany. Hi guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan.
And before we begin today's episode, I would like to say I'm a little bit sick, so if I sound better,
You're
you're
sounding
welcome.
like an angel, by the way.
Yeah, because I can't yell now.
It's beautiful.
This is Nazar. I'm wearing my Nazar protection, so whatever.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about friendship breakups.
This is one of those episodes again where we've done it before, never posted it because we don't want to hurt the people who have hurt us in this
Yeah.
regard.
What do you think of friendship breakups? Like, do you think, are you a ease out of friendship kind of person, or are you a let me send a breakup text?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I am really bad at ending relationships. Okay. And especially like with my friends, I'm really bad at ending relationships. I'll be the kind of person who like holds on to the emotions of it. I'm like, how can this woman have hurt me like this? I expected better. And then this like coldness creeps into me and I never tell her that I'm mad at her.
Same. And then enough time passes, and then I'm like, okay, I guess this friendship is worth something. But then I forget that the samne wala also has feelings and all. So it's like, but I feel like the main thing that's hurt me with my friendship breakups is that they didn't even reach out and be like, I'm upset with you for XYZ. But then again, I guess I didn't reach out, so it's like a double-edged sword. I think female friendships become so like silent treatment and all of that, and we somehow prioritize, like, we only fight with our partners, right? We don't fight with our friends. But now I've started fighting with everyone, guys. Don't stress.
I mean, you know my friend, who I've known her since school, and all through school we had like the most tumultuous relationship. But we are also the friends that went through puberty together. So we have the same personality, we had the same accent, we had the same style of cracking jokes. We were ride or die. We were also fiercely competitive with each other. So it was like one of those quintessential high school female relationships. But that relationship went through so many seasons. So when you love someone so passionately and you share this bond that's almost like family, when you have a breakup, it's like for I think there were 3 years in the middle where we didn't speak. She didn't come for my wedding, I didn't come for her wedding. We were just constantly mad at each other and talking to all our 6 degrees of separation, being like, oh, what the fuck, like, we used to be so close, why is she behaving like this? And now, over so much time, we've like worked back into this beautiful friendship where somehow we now live like down the road from each other. Life brought us to Mumbai, life brought us to each other, and for the first time we can stand in front of each other like adults and really see each other for who each other is, and it's like sisterhood. It's too good.
I feel like it's the sisterhood is what happens, right? Like, you fight with your sister, you do all of that. Like, there'll be 2 years in the middle. My sister, I can't stand her, but then at the end of the day, she's family.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've built with my girl friendships. Last year, I have this one friend. We'd been friends since 11th grade, and we'd been there for each other throughout. We were also going through like similar-ish circumstances when it came to like our parents, etc., etc. And then I think she started dating a guy, and she didn't like introducing me to the guys that she was dating. She thought I was a little critical of them. I thought she deserves better, but whatever, you know. And then eventually, I think she just her boyfriend made some dumb jokes, and I was like, yo, you can't make these jokes or whatever. And me saying it means it's a big threshold now for jokes you can't say. Finally, she picked him. She's happy. And I feel like with female friendships, like, even though she's not my friend anymore, she made it very clear she doesn't want to be my friend. But I'm just like, as long as she's happy, I can respect it from a distance. You know, there's those some friends where you're like, I can never wake them up.
So I was gonna say, did you say this yesterday to me when we were texting?
Yeah.
You're like, just let her sleep.
Yeah.
If she is in that like sleeping beauty slumber where in her life her world looks beautiful, let her sleep.
Because there's no point of gaining consciousness if your entire life is going to fall apart. Okay, the person you're dating might be an asshole, but if you are unaware, then it's all good in the hood.
If you ask, listen, is my boyfriend an asshole? And you want the answer, I'll give it.
But don't ask because you don't want the answer.
Ask. I would say ask.
Naina's fucking eye starts twitching anytime anyone's boyfriend walks into the room. She's waiting to give a little tippany.
I mean, I learned it the most expensive way. So if anybody wants to save some money, they want
Yeah.
to buy a Labubu instead of like kill a relationship, hit me
Hit
up.
her up. I was telling her to come meet someone on like very recently. She's like, "Do you want me to come to judge, or do you want to come? Do you want me to come to enjoy?" And I was like,
I enjoy judging.
Yeah.
So you said enjoy. So now
"We're all screwed up."
it's very hard for me to admit to the how much of an idiot I have been through my life with friendship because I was the pick me. I did have the 100 guy friends. I'm like, why does anybody want to be friends with girls? They're so lame.
Gross.
Yeah. But I also realized because in high school I had such competitive female friendships that girls never made me feel safe.
Yeah.
But over time, as I looked inward, as I realized that I wanted more like maturity in my life, the only people who showed up for me were female friends. And to make female friends as like a 28-year-old or a 29-year-old adult is a very humbling process. Guys are very easy to like impress because you're like, oh, hey, haha. And they're like, yeah, of course, haha.
Yeah.
But women, you have to really like, I think that's what it was. I felt the pressure to show up and be the most amazing version of myself because women call bullshit like this.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I failed to make female friendships earlier because I just wasn't in like sync with myself.
It's also like when you're kind of unhappy in some aspect of your life, your girlfriends are not going to be like, oh, let's just have a beer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're going to be like, hey, you want to change your fucking situation?
Yeah, you want to fix
And-
your attitude.
Yeah. And then you don't want to, right? Because it's like, here's the mirror, see your fucking face, you look like a clown. Now, your girlfriends are going to say that, and it's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
So now like what I've done to secure my female friendships is like, tu kar jo karna hai, I'm here. Whenever it like goes crumbling, even if I'm at the fucking barat, I'm everywhere, you don't stress. Like, I want to be a part of your life. These guys will come and go, bro. Even a husband will come and go. No one cares. I want my friends around. But I've had a lot of I was thinking that day I'm not in touch with a lot of people from my school. I'm not in touch with a lot of people from my college. After I'm 18, I've had a lot of fulfilling girl friendships. But from school and college, I've really just like snip, cut people off. But I don't think it was my fault.
Wait, sorry, what? I thought you was taking a moment to cough.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
Said
it
I-
wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't your fault. Why wasn't it your fault?
Because all of them, so some friendships were with guys, and then they started acting weird when I was dating someone. So that obviously was like, then
Yeah.
it wasn't platonic from there. And some I remember when I had my hair incident in 2020, one of my friends was working for the agency that was executing the campaign, and I was like sobbing, and I met him, and he was a very good friend of mine, and he said, you know what, you need to stop crying, it's not such a big deal, and don't even think about suing the agency. And I was like, you're picking, like, this was a 5-year friendship over like what, your starting salary job, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like, but so after that we never spoke.
I have to say, I haven't made a single like male adult friend since I've turned 30.
Same.
No new
Yeah.
friends. But every day, I meet a woman that I fall in love with. every day. I'm like, I want to hang out with you. I want to get matcha with you. I want
Cold
to, bro,
plunges.
cold plunge with you. Like, I meet women, I catch them in corners. I'm like, tell me who hurt you and let's bond. And they get sometimes thrown off, but sometimes they're like, oh, we love your podcast. And I can imprint on them.
Dude, as soon as someone says they love Moss, I'm like,
Let's go.
my claws are on them.
I went on relationship advice recently, and it was the most traumatizing experience for me. It like I hadn't been in a room in a long time where no one knew what my life was about. Because Moss, every time I meet you guys on the street, you're so nice and so like welcoming. You're like, oh, I love everything. And I was at relationship shit advice, and the first joke I tried to crack in that crowd, instead of everybody going ha, they were like, ooh. And I was like, fuck, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. I can't do this.
You also get thrown off by a live audience.
I don't mind getting thrown off by a live audience, but like also I was on panel with like just a bunch of men who I did not really have much in common with. So like in the trial room, I was like, or in the green room, I was like, hey, so what are your hobbies? And they're like, we're comics. We're like,
This is our job
this is our
and our
job.
hobby.
And I was like, this is not going well. This is not going well. But I have to say, in a different life, I would have like bashed myself up over it and been like, oh, you're such an idiot. You can do this. But in this life, I was like, it's not my job.
I actually enjoyed you on there. I watched the episode, and I know Naina is a little bit nervous around comics in general because I feel like you try to go for the punches in the same
Let
way.
me say, there was a man from our profession who went on a show and he tried to be funny and he landed up almost in jail. So I don't want to follow in his footsteps.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So fair.
I fully understand some formats are for you and some formats aren't for you. Luckily, he walked so I could realize when I was
Yeah.
sitting on relationship that this is not my format.
So
But
fair.
Sakshi saved the day because she came to watch me, and then the guest from the next show like canned,
Canned.
and then Sakshi was on, and she was so good. She was so funny.
I do like a live audience, and the thing is, for me, I just pretend like I love relationship. I love going on relationship advice because it's like it's people that don't know what I do, right? So I
Yeah.
can be the worst version of myself.
Yeah.
Make stuff up. People enjoy it. I'm just chasing the laugh, and I think that's the thing with like a live audience that I enjoy. I just wish I was a better scripter. I would have actually gone for stand up, but maybe like I can't fucking read and write, guys. It's like a disgusting habit to have, like writing. Can't think of what's gonna come out of your mouth next. Like it's too much pressure.
I'll tell you my flop cons apart
Please.
from relationship advice. I've been having a lot of wardrobe malfunctions.
Shut up.
Yeah, like straight today, I wore this dress for an event that I tried on today again for something else, and I turned it around and I realized that it was transparent from the back. My entire ass was out, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought maybe I haven't pulled the inside thing down. So I went and I pulled and I pulled and I turned, and I saw the parting between my cheeks. I was like, I fucking walked around Geo World Drive like this for 3 hours. No one stopped me.
This is the Armani event. Just
so
imagining this luxury event. Naina Bhan's ass cheeks out. She's like, why am I getting papped?
They only want the back.
Only on the back.
That was my first flop con. My second
Top
flop
5.
con. Yeah. My second one happened yesterday because I wake up in the morning and I have no schedule. So I just jump into the first reel I need to shoot, okay? So I put on this outfit. I was like, who's going to see the back again? So I zipped it half and I finished shooting my reel. And then I'm going about my day. Then these guys come to measure the curtains and I'm alone at home with this deep plunged neck. And I'm like, okay, now whatever. It's 2025. They can figure it out. Then they leave, they do everything. And my friend comes over and she's like, did you just open your top? And I was like, no. My full zip from the back.
The guys put extra
And my
curtains.
shorts ka zip was open. And today in the morning I was shooting a reel for a bra. And right across my house is just like laborers are living in this building that's being made. And I'm just like, this is the perfect bra. And I'm just like dancing with this bra. I'm like, I should just stop wearing clothes
Bro,
altogether.
I'm convinced my watchman thinks I'm a hooker
Same.
because I only leave
But
at night.
I think my watchman, he's like, she earns well.
Yeah,
He's
even
proud of
my
me.
watchman thinks I own well. Everyone in my building comes and there's 3 people living in my building. Who do they come for? Like straight big ticket amounts. मेरे को 1 लाख चाहिए.
Oh, no.
Me. And I think about it also for 5 minutes and I'll be like, what now? That's too much. I've only been living here for 4 months.
Even if you were living there your whole life, you don't need to give him 1
Bro,
lakh rupees.
That day I was in the car with my...
Ask him to swatch some makeup. Do well.
आप मेरे साथ रील बनाओगे तो मैं
Yeah.
दूंगी आपको. That day I was sitting in the car with my driver, my dad, my mom, and I'm friends with all the street dwellers.
Yes.
So and I like if they want an ultrasound or like ration or anything, I'm their gal because
Every street dweller in Juhu knows what Bear Bell's protein tastes like. Sakshi goes to Food Square.
they asked me for my labubu that day. They were like, आपको gift में मिला कि आपने खरीदा?
PR?
No, I was like, मेरे लिए कौन खरीदेगा? Then they were like, दीदी आपको मिलेगा कोई आपके लिए खरीदने वाला and all of that. And I was like, okay, cutie. But
I have to say, in Mumbai, everyone, sorry, I know you have a story. Everyone gives you unsolicited feedback. First time I came to Mumbai, I went to get a pedicure. Now, if you get a pedicure in Bandra at JCB or like a fancy Gitanjali or something, the pedicurist is giving me feedback. Ab star banne aaye ho. I was like, नहीं indie actually I want to be a character actor. Then they're like आप बनोगे मैं शाहरुख खान का pedicure करता
bro, all of them have some relationship to some actor. Like all of them. And they all have to name drop and then I'm like, fuck, what am I doing here? I don't have the auqats to be where Shah Rukh's feet have been. Like, think about it.
The HDFC guy in Verso was telling me मैंने मनोज बाजपेयी का account
Yeah. That day I went to buy dosa, Lokhandwala bakery. He's like, Jaideep, Alawat यहाँ पे आते हैं. And I was like, so should I fucking leave? Like, what the fuck? My masseuse is telling... Oh, bro, fuck everything. My masseuse is telling me that day. Yeah, she's like, आप पहले वर्सोवा में रहते थे. I said, हाँ. And then she named some A-lister. It's like, उनके साथ? I was like, नहीं. It's like, नहीं, मैंने किया था उनकी mistress का facial. आप जैसे लग रही थी. I was like, मैं नहीं थी उसके साथ. And then I was like, उनकी wife तो older होगी ना because this guy is also old. He's like, नहीं, but जिसका मैंने किया था वो तो young थी. And I was like, shut up. Like, I was like, babe, stop the massage. Like, I will massage you. You just keep spilling. It was amazing.
You know, this happened to me in the lockdown. I had this one masseuse who only came to my house because she was having a fling with some guy, Mickey, his name was.
In your building.
Who would only come to my house, and while she massaged me for 60 minutes, she would give me the Mickey update.
Dots are forming in your back as she's talking.
Like, Mickey this, Mickey that, Mickey's like this, Mickey like that. Finally, in the end, she sent me a message because I hadn't got a massage for a long time. She's like, something, and she named her husband. He said he found out and something.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, yay, lucky you. She's like, not Mickey, my husband. Just like, oh, shit.
Damn. Everyone's life is happening, except ours. We're just going through friendship breakups.
My
And
zip is open. I don't know about you.
dude, I don't believe in wardrobe malfunctions. You see your nipple, keep it to your fucking self. No one cares anymore. Like, unless my coochie is out, I don't want to hear it. Ass is common ground. Nips, everyone has them.
Yeah, everyone has them.
And if you see my dog humping my leg, it's none of your business, really. Like, let's normalize partial
What do we-
nudity.
That's like normal. Okay, cool. You were in the car with your dad and your mom and your driver.
Yeah, and all the street dwellers came. Didi, मुझे ये चाहिए. Didi, मुझे वो चाहिए. My dad and Raju, our driver, he turns around and is like, आप नहीं बात कर सकते हर दिन सबसे. आप अकेले रहते हो. आपको पता नहीं. They know where you stay and all. I was like, bro, they're my friends. How can you talk about them like that? Raju's like, नहीं. आप नहीं बात करोगे. And then that day I was walking on the road, my dad called me, he's like, I just passed. Good, you weren't talking to anyone. I'm like, you're fucked. You live in Versova. Why are you in Bandra stalking me? Who's the real threat?
Coming back to the topic of
Coming
female
back
friendships.
to the topic of female friendships. And what better friends to have than everyone in the world is my friend, is what I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
But friendship breakups.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys have also gone through friendship breakups, because one thing I've learned, and I mean this with a lot of respect, most people have the most problems.
The most problem.
The most problems.
I met this girl in my undergrad and we had this instant connection. A lot of her school friends who were in the same class had warned me against her. We used to go to tons of events and parties together. Everyone knew us as a dup in... What's a dup?
I think a duo with a typo.
Oh, yeah. A duo in college. A duo with two... duo. Okay. Entry... Okay, enter the one love of my life with whom I had an extremely tumultuous situationship scene for 2 years. Man got bored by the end of it and hit on her on my 21st birthday. I started screaming and all, and she had the audacity to stay in the room while we were bickering and then make a move on him and kiss him in front of me. FYI, they had made out once before and I'd forgiven them. I'm an idiot for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
Dude, that's the worst thing ever, is like letting some chaman get in the middle of your girl friendship. Why would you do that? Like, hook up with your best friend's tumultuous situationship, knowing that this guy is an asshole. Like, and then stay in the room while they're arguing. Disgusting.
You should have left, okay? Obviously, this isn't great. And I know there are a bunch of people that have a really low sense of self and they find it very appealing to go for what isn't theirs.
Yeah.
And somehow you feel a little bit more confident when you get that love from someone that isn't yours to have. I think everyone goes through like these kinds of friendships once or twice or thrice in their life where they get burnt. And it's just part of life.
There's also those friend groups where like everyone dates everyone. They're very incestuous. Like, you don't know who's dating who, and then they all continue to be friends. I want to know what problem they have mentally. That's so weird. But like, especially if like that someone's hooking up with someone, they should automatically be like a sexless being to you.
I don't understand when you can be in the same friend group as someone that you've hooked up with.
I also don't understand it, because
It's weird. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And
yeah, that's a bad breakup, because then you lose your situationship also.
Fuck, lose the situation. Who is keeping the situationship around?
She said 2-year situationship,
And then he got bored of her and he hooked up with her friend.
but 2-year situationship, how can you let that 2 years, no commitment, 2 days and it's done. Different strokes for different
Third day, if he's not
folks.
marrying you, it's over.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a first year college student and I have a female best friend. Like, every guy in college adores her. That's how my guy friends talk about. No. And like, people want to talk to her and call it a flex. I had this other friend, we three are in the same branch for context, whom I introduced my female best friend to, and this bro legit flexed in front of other people that he's friends with her. Everything goes normal for a month or so, up until someone just randomly DM'd my female best friend that you should not hang out with that guy, and the DM said that he looks like a Momo and should rather keep hanging out with me. I don't know what happened. Maybe his ego got shattered and he started to think that my female best friend intentionally did it, which was obviously not the case. Are we following?
No.
Okay.
What?
Okay. I'm gonna give names.
Yes. Momo.
Momo and
Sushi.
Sushi. Sorry. Yeah. Momo and Sushi are two guys. Sushi's best friend, Raman. So Sushi and Ramen are best friends, and Sushi introduces Ramen to Momo. It's all going well, but this Momo is like making, like telling everyone, like, oh, me and Ramen, we're cool like that because Ramen's a hot girl.
Yeah.
And then someone randomly DMs Ramen saying, don't hang out with Momo, hang out with Sushi. That's where we've gotten so far, okay? I don't know what happened, but Momo's ego got shattered and he started to think that Ramen intentionally did it, which was obviously not the case. What happened next was Momo started bitching about Ramen while still pretending to be her friend to her face. Of course, as Sushi, didn't like it because Sushi is a man of morals, okay? He didn't like it and it was completely unacceptable to Sushi. My son. What happened next was I told Ramen that Momo's bitching about you. And Ramen got angry and texted him from Sushi's phone, which made Momo more angry that he gave his phone so that she could argue. Guys, you all need to learn how to type better, huh?
I'm so lost. What is
Which
this?
made the other guy angry that I gave my phone so that she could argue with him. He legit... Okay, तो लड़कों के बीच में
Problem हो रही है.
he legit said that I broke the friendship all because of a girl, but I think I just took my female friend's stand and that was my moral duty. That day he told this to everyone and legit brought 5-6 boys to my room to talk to me. After this I made it clear that I'll always take my guys ka side no matter what. He still roams around college telling people that I backstabbed him. Backstab to tumne kiya.
Is anyone still here? This story took my life. I'm 40 years old now. This is disgusting. I'm premenopausal. I hate this.
And can you imagine with my dirty chest infection, I've read this brain rot. Guts. That's all.
Thank you. I no longer want to have children. This is horrible. I don't want to be a part of this life.
Guys, no one has real problems or what?
It's fucking Momo.
Fucking Momo. Even Sushi was quite irritating in this.
I
Sushi's
was
the
ex-
narrator.
I was expecting some like fun, like female stories, but there's just a bunch of butthurt men. Like,
Yeah.
Firstly, everyone go get a hobby. Let's all go get a fucking hobby.
Love triangles are very student of the year 1 coded,
Yeah.
which came out in 2009 or something. We can't do love triangles anymore. Alia Bhatt has a child now. Please, guys, like love triangles are not a vibe. You should all focus more on your skincare. And Foxtail Super Glow Face Wash will actually make you all focus on your skincare.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
is that a sponsor for today's episode?
you know, I don't miss my ex-best friend, but one thing I do miss about her is her amazing skincare routine. And one product that she had in her loo at all times that I used to steal when I used to go for sleepovers was the Foxtail Super Glow Face Wash.
I've been using that for a while and it works on every single skin type. Dry, oily, whatever. It makes you glow andar se.
And it's got papaya in it, so you feel like you're taking this whole fruit facial.
Yeah, the vitamin C and papaya really combines together to make you look like you have that. You know, actually, I hope your ex-best friend sees this on Instagram. You're glowing like that because of your fruit facial. And then she's like, oh my God, she's using my skincare recommendations and she can't do anything about it because she's out of sight, out of mind.
You know what? You just glow different when you don't have toxic friendships in your life anymore.
Another sponsor. Okay, next story. In 9th grade, my whole friend group of girls started drinking, so I did too. Then they moved on to smoking. Tried it once or twice, no big deal. But then came the weed, and I was like, okay, hold up. And then they started sniffing glue. That's when I quietly backed out. I didn't have many people to talk to after that, but honestly, probably the best decision I made. Heard rumors about harder drug usage after that, but I hope they're all okay. That's so sad, honestly, because you can see in like 9th grade is such a peer pressure type of year also. So this is some rich kid school for sure.
No,
This is class season
they're
1.
sniffing diluted. That's not rich.
In 9th grade, what else can you buy? Not me. One. Have you ever been peer pressured into
Smoking?
smoking,
Yes.
drinking?
Yes, 100%. Was at a birthday party and I was peer pressured into drinking. And this other kid in my class, who was a grade A alcoholic, got caught in the school with a vodka bottle, drank the entire bottle, came out stinking. Okay,
Yeeks.
so the teacher caught him.
That's the real crime.
That is. And so that his mom could save him, she ratted out every kid in the batch that had ever been peer pressured into trying some kind of cigarette or something.
So I had this like larger group of cousins, like cousins, etc. And I wasn't that close to them to begin with, but my sister was. And then eventually, I think they all lived in Bandra Khar and they used to meet more often. And they told my sister to come for lunch once. And she went and she was like 20 minutes late. They ended up meeting half an hour earlier. And when she came, they had packed their leftovers for my sister and they just handed it. Now, me, Lord knows, me and my sister fight. But then after that, I made it my mission to make these two bitches ka life miserable. So that day, like, I was on my way back from college in the train. I pretended I didn't know one of them. I was like, fuck it. She's like, Sakshi. And I, like, took out my AirPods and I was like, oh, hi. We've, like, grown up together means, like, same hospital type. And I was like, oh, hi. And like, so I'm the worst person. Like, if you like wrong anyone around me now, if I know someone's gone through a friendship breakup,
It's done.
it's done, bro. You cough me right now.
My biggest, like, I think the memory that shaped me, and I think that's what made me a content creator today, was that I just moved to this new school and I thought I'd made friends with a bunch of girls. And then it was someone's birthday and they invited everyone except for me.
That's too sad, bro. And that's happened to everyone. And it's like,
But it shouldn't have happened to me.
yeah, really.
Really?
Really.
What don't I bring to the table?
Have you ever like hosted a party and you were scared no one would come?
Yes, my 33rd birthday. It just passed. I thought no one would come. I was,
It was a
freaking
rager,
out.
though.
It was.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that I felt like active rejection. I was like, fuck, the world is tough.
Yeah.
There are people that just like they have better things to do, which is fine. I mean,
How
but, like,
dare they,
how
honestly?
dare they?
Fuck that. No, I remember one of my birthdays, it was a lunch scene at some like restaurant or something. And I was like one of those girls in the group that wasn't in the group. Everyone was really skinny and I had already gone through my growth spurt and everyone was like key about it. And they all came to my birthday, but then I realized no one was talking to me. Like they were all talking to each other and it was like it was on a weekend and everything and it to the point that I didn't even cut the cake. I just got the waiter to cut the cake and give everyone a piece because I was like, no one's gonna sing happy birthday for me.
No.
And then they were like, why did the waiter cut it? I was like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted.
No.
What do I do? I can't. And then that's where I don't care about everyone.
No.
Like, you know, at like 12, you have to protect your feelings first. You can't let the world know that you're a softie. That's how they eat you alive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up for a long time being the cheli. You know?
Really?
I was a massive cheli.
Not Naina Bhan.
I was a cheli, like hard cheli. That was my
Now-
personality. I was like a guard dog for my best friend. I was the buffer for my best friend. Like if a guy wanted to like say he had a crush on her, he had to tell me and then I had to do a setting.
Dude.
You know?
And being the, like you the one unattractive, so I don't know why, how come you became the cheli, but being the girl who like, you know, the guys are like, oh, not you, your best friend. So humbling.
But that was my life for like most of middle school.
Same.
Yeah.
And then when I suddenly, like, now it's the same guys giving me attention
Yeah.
now in my adulthood. But they'll all like message me like, oh, don't think we're hitting on you, And I'm like, you're messaging me after 10 years. Saying, hey, what's up, hello, what are you doing? We're not friends anymore. You want my best friend's number again or what? You don't have it. It's disgusting. Men now. मुद्दा ये है कि men में ही problem है.
No,
In a
we're not
female
force
friendships
plugging this.
episode.
No.
Lame.
You were like the popular girl in school.
I was the friend of the popular girl.
So you were also a cheerleader.
I was a cheerleader, that's what I'm saying. But I was like one of those cheerleaders that like I had my own side plot happening, but it wasn't exciting for anyone. It's like all my friends were dating the popular guys and one of their chelas and like some side plot dirty, like no one cares about it. That was happening. Like
And what is the main, like, that girl who's cheerleading you, or what is she up to right now?
she's my friend still.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's Tanisha.
Oh.
Yeah. All the guys liked my best friend.
Yeah.
She used to count, she used to be like, oh, 6 guys today have confessed to me. And I'm sitting there dry as a fucking desert.
This happened to me also. My friend would come, okay, she would date a guy. She'd be like, oh yeah, we're dating now. They'd hold hands and break. Okay,
Yeah.
then next day she's like, I'm over him. And then I had to go and console him. Like, I'm so sorry, she's no longer interested in you. Don't worry, you'll find love.
Break up on a behalf.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm the biggest cheerleader, bro.
That's too good. No, I never broke up with anyone on their behalf, but like I was definitely very cognizant of the fact that people were only talking to me to become closer to my friend. And I was like, okay, let me spit some personality. Maybe personality counts for it doesn't. You have to be hot, huh? Like all of this is a scam. You can be boring and hot. You can't be charismatic. Did you see that? It's like if I got skinny today, I would be Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah.
But if she got fat, she could never be me.
I agree. I think anything in life you have to do, you have to be well groomed. You have to
Yeah.
look good. You have to come into a room
Yeah.
like demanding attention.
Yeah.
It doesn't work otherwise. I'm not saying it like as a superficial person. I'm saying the world is superficial and I just want to be a part of it.
You can't. How you gonna? What is the saying? I'm gonna fuck it up. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. You-
But I have to
female-
say that day for relationship advice also, I thought I was looking really hot.
you were,
Yeah, but then I think it worked against me.
dude. So apparently it's a thing in comedy, and I've never gotten to the bottom of this, and I've never discussed it really. But the girls have told me they purposely dress not as good as they should.
Yeah.
Because you have to be like an unattractive presenting person to kind of for people to take you seriously in comedy. And my thing is, if we all start wearing booby corsets, then no one is wearing booby corsets. So let's start. Like, you can be funny and hot. Naina Bhan is living proof.
No, it's not. Depends on the format. I swear that day I felt like, when like the mean girl in a group is like, oh, let me crack a joke. Like that's how I felt. Like that's
That's
how
how
I was
you
being
feel on
received.
the pod also, bro. Like, I'm the comic really. I'm the Chaley of the pod. I know what it feels like.
How are you the Chaley of the pod? Literally, Sakshi was in an ad right now with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And the only person that they were talking about in that ad was fucking Sakshi. How are you the Chaley?
That's PR, bro. Not my PR. Good shoot, though.
That was really fun. Have you guys seen Sakshi's Mintra ad with Aisha? It was too funny. I loved
Yeah,
it.
it's also directed by Devika, a female director, which was really cool to me because it was like so female lens. And in the beginning, we didn't want to mess up our makeup. And Devika comes up to us and she's like, can I just? And then she smudges all our mascara and we were like, hey. But it did well, that. All's well that ends well, huh? You want to know my flop con?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Friday night I went out and I had the babiest cough, meaning just like a type cough, okay?
Yeah.
Saturday morning I wake up, fever, eyes are not opening. It's taken me 40 minutes to order something on my phone. I just needed to like wake up. And I've slept till 7 p.m. I wake up and I get a text saying like, oh, you want to come out tonight? And now I don't want to tell these people I'm sick because I have a big ego about not falling sick, okay? I'm like, yes, I will come out tonight. You don't stress. So I've doloed it hard, okay? And I've gone out. I've left the house at 11 in the night. I was like, I'll go for half an hour chill scene. Come back at 3:30, doloed it hard again and fallen asleep. I've woken up in the morning at 8 a.m., picked up my phone trembling, and I was like, Mama, can you please come pick me up? My mom has come straight to the doctor. The doctor takes one look at me, 2 cocktail injections I've gotten on both my cheeks. And then he's like,
In case. I don't know, people don't realize these things. They're like, Sakshi got it on her cheeks, so I got it on my cheeks.
and then he's telling my mom, 1 week, don't meet anyone. She's not allowed to get out of bed. She's not allowed to talk. She's not allowed to do anything. I was like, I have shoot on Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I'm here. I'm dying. I'm not okay, huh? Just to let you all know. But we're skipping 1 week upload
Yeah, we are
also.
skipping 1
Sorry,
week.
guys.
Really
That's all
sorry.
me. That's my
It's
floppest
tough out there
con,
in
bro.
free content available for your viewing.
My floppest flop con.
That's hard.
Yeah. But I went out on Saturday night. And people were like smoking around me and all. And I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking because saas nahi aa rahi thi meko. My eyes were also open by like a. And I didn't tell any of my I was going out with some other people. I didn't tell any of my close friends I'm going out because full day they're FaceTiming me. My eyes are not opening. I was too bad. Like dal chawal has come from me, and knowing me, if I eat dal chawal, meaning I'm really sick, okay? And
And I wonder why, okay? Because this bitch comes and puts a story saying everyone's trying to give me advice, free advice. She doesn't eat well. Okay, she eats, but she does not eat well. She's doing 10K steps. She's going hard at the gym. Then she eats like, you've seen her vlog. She eats like one piece of protein. She's been eating paneer, straight paneer for like
Yum.
3 months.
Paneer and Shezwan.
No vegetables. Like nothing. It's just paneer.
Then today I had to eat thepla.
Yeah, no shit. And then she's falling sick every 3 weeks and she's like, I don't know what it is.
I also don't
think
know
it's
what it
nazar.
is. It's nazar. I to think it's nazar only.
It's not nazar.
But by the way, I got a blood test. All my micronutrients are fine. Huh? Everyone can shut up. Naina, now you tell her anything, she'll be like, please don't have dairy today.
You know, just shut the fuck up, okay? I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe in all this lactose intolerance and all. All that is
You
fake.
should really see me run.
But if you have a cold, do not have anything with dairy in it because dairy produces the phlegm in your body. You'll have a terrible time. Don't have butter, don't have milk, don't have any of these things. Your mother will tell you, haldi mein doodh and all that. Don't listen to that. You will be in a bad place.
I don't think anything you put in your body actually matters. Like, as long as you're getting...
That wasn't even a bit, by the way. That's
1 second. You're sick, you eat ice cream, nothing happens. It's all in your brain. Like, it doesn't matter.
What's
if
in
it's
your brain right now? What's
right
going
now,
on?
though, it's a viral bug. What did I do in that? Everyone is acting like, everyone's like, quit Juul, quit this, quit that. That even I know it's a bad habit. But what I'm saying is, ये तो viral bug था ना, इसमें मैंने क्या किया?
Viral bug ने तेरे को क्यों चुना? अब ये बता.
Once in 6 years, it's a good humbling experience. You know, I was becoming a little superhuman. Then today also in the morning, I woke up and I started pacing around the house. I was like, 2,500 steps I'll do, you know. My mom comes and she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I
Sit
wish
down.
she had slapped you.
Bro,
It was my dream.
I'm doing nothing. Then yesterday also, my other flop con of the week. Yesterday, in my parents' building, I don't leash Sushi because he's like pretty good about his recall and everything. He smells a bitch on heat across the road. This dumb dog has the survival instincts of a dumb dog. And he has gone running across the road. I can't breathe. I'm chasing him down the street. And simple सा बात, अगर गाड़ी आपकी तरफ आ रही है, it can hit you. But this leashed dumb dog does not understand the concept of a car hitting him. So I'm stopping cars and everything. He's gone to this Shih Tzu and tried to mount her. So I picked him up, I took him back to the 5th floor, kept him inside the apartment, was going to shut the door. He has run all the way back down, across the street again. And who is at home? Me and my dad. Is Rajesh going to run after Sushi? No. So is the chest infection gal going to run after Sushi? 100% And then the watchman and me have done a little kabaddi and caught him. And then watchman, isko please upar le ke jao."
We had to take a break and now we're back to whatever we're doing. I was at a retreat recently where we did sound healing, which I was damn excited about, okay? Until we were all sitting there and she starts by saying, "Pet kaisa hai aaj? Khali ki
How
nahi?"
dare you?
And I was just like, because it's like 6 a.m. in the morning.
I plead the fifth.
It's just like, I know I might look skinny, but and then she's like, "Look, you know, like sound vibration, different things in your body will open up. So don't be afraid if some of it may pass in the form of gas."
Stop it. I'm not laying in a room with 5 farting people.
I said, I would rather die.
I clench everything, bro.
I literally did. The first 20 minutes, I was just holding my kegels. Like, if I fart, it's the end of this world for me. I can't do
Bro, we can't be like Nikhil Kamath on that flight. I think about that.
this. Your first fart instinct is Nikhil Kamath?
Yeah.
Mine's Tiger Shroff. Just-
Two types of gal.
Then another part of this whole thing, okay, was tarot X journaling, okay?
Naina's coming, bro.
No. Okay, in the past, I used to love to share my feelings and I have a lot of them. But I am a lot more guarded now, as we discussed in the last episode. So the idea of this lady picking out a tarot, setting an intention for something that's troubling us deeply in our lives, and we have to journal with 12 complete strangers. Fucking mortifying.
Yeah.
I hated it. But everyone around me was very moved. And then they started talking about their lives and everything. And I was like, I didn't understand the card.
So you had fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
You got a massage?
I got 2 massages.
What do you think about massages?
Too good. Best.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who are like, I don't like massages.
Yeah.
I would take a massage any day, every day, all the time.
Anywhere, bro. You
Anywhere.
start massaging me, I lay down.
And Sakshi taught me the hack of a lifetime. Next time you're somewhere and you have some time to kill, you split a 60, 30, 30.
Yeah.
2 people get tipped, 2 people get massaged. It's amazing.
Dude, every time Naina and I have any time to kill, we find some massage parlor and we go and get a massage.
It's best.
Isn't that what life is about?
That
Being
is.
massaged like a Kobe beef cow. Amazing. I would love to be a Japanese cow in a field getting massaged.
Nice.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
But I have to say, the only like downside of this brand trip was that we had to spend, like, slow living meant slow eating together. It meant slow small talk for 4 meals with people I
Yikes.
don't know. And like initially I was like, oh, I'm a podcaster. If I don't talk, then who will?
Lord.
I literally like spoke so much. I had a crash. I went to my room and I almost cried.
Shit. You know, I recently realized I can't eat on dates.
Yes.
Like, it's getting a little stressy.
You know, I have to tell you, like, this is new for me because I thought I was like this, like, fake feminist on dates, right? And Sakshi's like this, puts it where it is, and
I'm
etc.
mean on dates. Like, I go in with like a bitch energy, but it only works if they think you're a apsara, a husna pari. So they can't think you're human. If you're eating and you're being a bitch, then they're like, shut the fuck up.
She doesn't eat on dates.
I don't eat on dates. Like, I'll order like bread for the table.
She
and I'm
doesn't
like,
wear flats on dates.
No.
She
But flats I don't wear on dates because I think a lot of guys lie about their height. And then they try to gaslight me into thinking I'm taller than I am. So then I'm like, I'll just wear heels. And I look better in heels also. So
True.
might as well. I actually need to buy good flats also, but that's besides the point.
But I genuinely, when you said that to me on text, I was like, who is this person? Because
Yeah.
I have the opposite reaction to dates.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, I want to not wash my hair.
Dude, Naina, she's telling me, like, I was like, oh fuck, like, you know, I maybe have to get like fitter or something. And then she was like, for a guy? And I was like, wow, the roles have reversed. So
Never get
hard.
fit for a guy.
But then
You only get fit post your breakup.
Do you-
That's the only time
it's
you're
been
allowed.
happened. But do you hook up with the lights on or off?
On.
Yeah, same now. Bright white lights,
Bright
studio
white.
lighting. No one gives a fuck.
I don't care if I'm luteal, I don't care if I'm follicular, molecular, whatever phase, bloated, not bloated.
Yeah, if a guy is looking at all of that, then really you shouldn't be fucking him.
Yeah.
Me.
Can we put on this candle? I think it's better.
I want a lantern. Wherever I want to see.
I don't think we'd make it in medieval times, you and I.
I think we would be one of those, you know, this.
I think we would have been burnt at the
Yeah,
stake.
yeah. Like, and I think I wouldn't even, I'd be like, I get it. Like, if today you put me in a time machine and took me to some trial
Yeah.
back in the day, I would be like, I sound a little mad. It's like, you know, they used to nail women's jaws shut when they
Yeah.
used to yap too much.
Yours
Thank
would
God
be
for
that-
feminism. I have benefited a lot from feminism as a concept. So I'm so sorry for not eating on dates. It's not fair. To all the feminists that have fought for me to grow my armpit hair, I'm not even able to eat on dates. I shaved my armpits also today. I'm so sorry.
Speaking of feminism, I'm just trying to bring it back to the topic. There are some women who are massive kuttis. Massive! I
Yeah.
can't with some women.
No, I also feel personally betrayed when a woman's a bitch, and that is, I feel anti-feminist.
Yeah, like you can be a bitch like slay bitch, like, but not
No,
like,
I'm saying me expecting women to be nicer is anti-feminism.
I'm okay in a world where that's considered not feminism.
Like, why do we have more expectations from women?
Because they're better in every aspect.
Or society has conditioned them to be more amicable.
No. Be a bitch, but don't be a girgit. Like, I'm not into
Be
that.
a bitch to everyone. I'm okay with that. But be a ethical bitch.
Ethical bitch.
Yeah, don't do like this iska boyfriend udhar, like muh marna type bitching is not good. Like, be a regular bro. I was at Bandra Born, okay, recently, and I went to pee, and there was this couple near the bathroom, and I hear the girl say, "Don't call me your wife till you leave your wife." And then he says, "But you know, she's only my wife on paper.
And that
You
is the
are my
only-
soulmate." And then she's like, how can I be your soulmate when you're married? And then he calls his friend to convince her, like, and I'm peeing, but I'm also listening now. I'm invested in the story. The friend is hugging her. He's like, no, he never spoke about his wife the way he speaks about you, but you know he can't leave her. She's the mother of his kids. And you know, the entire conversation is happening. She's fucking straddling him up against the fucking woman's bathroom wall. I was like, मैं खोलूंगी तो ये दोनों अंदर गिर जाएंगे. I didn't open it. I was there. Great convo. Best night of my life, I would say.
Can we end this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we end this by addressing what happened to us recently at a cafe?
Bro.
The fuck?
Naina and I met for Saturday. I'm gonna speed run this. Saturday breakfast, Naina and I at a cafe. no space. We have to share a table with a girl. This girl stops everything she does and she's like, it's been my dream to meet y'all. Okay? We're like, amazing. Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. We go ahead with our conversation and she's like talking to us. Like, she'll like point at my phone and be like, what's your wallpaper? She'll point at Naina and say, what are you eating? Very like in our space. But we're being polite. Then she says, I have seen your podcast. Y'all only talk to each other, but y'all ever want guests? I'm in. So as ऐसे मस्ती है ना, I was like, okay, pitch to us then. Like, let's see what you want to talk about. She gets offended. She's like, oh, actually, she started saying a story about her childhood.
She didn't get my sarcasm.
And then we just snorted a little bit.
No, she's like, I have so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
I said, do tell.
Yeah.
And then I made a joke, which again, because I'm so hot, no one understands I have a sense of humor. I was
That's a
like,
good joke.
I was like, don't worry, the cameras aren't on. And she got thrown off.
She got damn thrown off, and then she said, how can you just ask me for a story?
Yeah.
Don't y'all think y'all should take me out for 2 days and get me comfortable with y'all? And we were like, that's not how it works, sweetie pie.
Yeah, she's like, maybe you would make better content if you took your guests out for 2 days and got to know them.
And we were like, but our guests are okay with it. And then we were very politely telling her, like, maybe you're not suited to be on camera. And she was like, because you're not comfortable fucking sharing, you want to come on a podcast. And then she was like, no, but y'all asked me such an open-ended question. You should have said, share something interesting from your childhood.
I'm so sorry. Fuck off. Okay.
And then she says, she has never watched the podcast. And Naina and I are sitting, okay, and she also realized that she got damn offended, and we were like continuing our conversation because we were not on fucking duty.
1 second. We were also offended. Actually,
Yeah.
it was first our right to be offended.
Yeah.
Then it's your right to be offended. And not in this situation, some other fucking situation because you came on to us.
Do 100%. And then she's leaving, and Naina and I like, only thing you sell in abundance is Aukat and all of that shit we're going. She comes back to take her fucking order. We are so damn irritated because 1 hour this has gone on for. I'm eating my Thecha cottage cheese sandwich. She's asking me what's in it. What is this? What is that? And I was like, babe. And then she was like, I'm giving you advice as a consultant. You all will get much further if you all do this.
So I was like, okay, so which is your favorite episode since you're so critical? She's like, I've only seen 3 reels.
Guts.
And I was like, a male podcaster would never fucking sit for this.
Wouldn't stand for this.
I swear, that day, I was like, there are some kuttis out there.
कोई भी मुंह उठा के एडवाइस देने चला आता है. Like, we don't, I mean, if it's constructive, give it. But then we'll talk about you like this. Huh? You put yourself out there. You be ready for the consequence. I put myself out there on Reels for 5 months. Everyone hated me. I was okay with it. Then you'll also be okay with it. Watch one episode before giving advice as a professional.
I just want to go to hospital and start advising the surgeon. Literally. Because why not?
Why not?
I've seen a surgery.
Yeah. Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, exactly.
I know her. And with that, again, we have not been able to stick to one topic. But
Dun, dun, dun.
we hope you had fun, sweeties.
Like there's this button, it's called subscribe. Just click on it so we can get to 70K. We have a personal bet.
70K. Oh, shit.
We have a personal bet going on with somebody who doesn't know we have a bet going on with them. So just please subscribe, follow, comment, review. Let's pick up the Spotify numbers. Let's go. Bye.
Bye.